Howdy, welcome back. This is Tom, the Disabled Prepper. This is the introductory video to my new series I'm calling That's Armageddon. Armageddon is commonly known by most people as a end of days kind of scenario. Specifically in the Bible, it refers to Armegeddon, which is the Valley of Megiddo in the Middle East, and the Bible speaks specifically of a final battle, mankind's last battle on the earth, that is going to be of such tremendous horror that the blood of the killed will be as deep as a horse's bridle and fill the whole valley, which is roughly 200 miles wide. Now, obviously that's a lot of blood. And if that, well, I don't believe if, I believe when that does happen, that would definitely be an indication of the end of mankind. And in fact, the Bible speaks of that specifically as the last battle of mankind. And soon, in fact, the only reason a war in the Valley of Megiddo ends is because Christ returns and brings judgment on the earth and reclaims the world for himself. And then, of course, thereafter is what's referred to as the Great White Throne Judgment, which is the judgment of every human being that's ever lived. Now I ask you to bear with me here if you don't happen to be a Bible-believing Christian, and that's why I say please bear with me. I would like to hope that you could be a Bible-believing Christian, but if you're not or you don't want to be, I hope that you would bear with me during this series. My intention is not to convert. My intention is to hypothesize, I think might be the word that I want to use. The Bible speaks specifically of what it calls the beginning of the birth pangs. And this isn't just like one or two verses in the Bible. There's large portions spread throughout the entire Bible of the birth pangs, of the indications of the end of the world. As a Bible-believing Christian, I believe that we are in those birth pangs, the beginning of birth. And as the beginning of birth, you know, you get the mother gets some initial little, contractions, and then they kind of grow worse, and they grow stronger, and they last longer, and they escalate and escalate and escalate to the point to where finally she's on the table screaming, and this bowling ball is ejected from her lady bits. Okay, so the Bible describes the end of the world similarly, and I believe all the chess pieces are in place, and we are at the beginning of those birth pangs. Now, the Bible also describes specifically a sequence of events from the beginning of the birth pangs as they escalate to the point of the final, mankind's final battle in the Valley of Megiddo. As I say, even if you're not a Bible-believing Christian, bear with me. Think of this hypothetically or theory-wise, the kinds of things that we might encounter that will help us to be better prepared for these kinds of events that are going to happen. For instance, commonly, people in the West Coast, they prep for earthquakes. People in the Midwest, they prep for tornadoes. People along the coast, they prep for hurricanes. Well, the birth pangs and the sequence of events leading up to man's last day, the end of the world, the end of days, the grapes of wrath, You understand what I'm referring to. The things leading up to those are going to introduce additional things, such as the stars from the sky are going to be falling, the potential for volcanoes erupting. Now, I'm not saying that. A lot of people say in poop hit the fan scenario, we're going to experience an extinction level event. I believe at the end of days, in the last days, we will experience extinction level events. But between that day and where we currently are now, in the meantime, these events are not extinction level events. They're going to start off small, they're going to progress, increase. And so that's my intention, is to kind of introduce to you and theorize with you what could potentially happen, what we might come across, and ways we can kind of prepare to survive those events, which is what we as preppers do. We prepare for adversity and disaster. And so anyway, I hope you enjoy this series. I hope it speaks to you. I hope we can have a good dialogue together as the prepper community, and that I'll be learning along the way. And I hope that you enjoy it and that we all learn something. Okay, so remember to always keep your nose in the wind and your eyes along the skyline. Until we meet again. Bye.